let's get to this video. Been a whole bunch of railfan videos, so I guess it's time for another layout video. This one covering the third deck, which saw a little bit of a change, actually quite a bit of a change from the original design for the space that I have. This is also the 30th video I have uploaded to the channel. My YouTube channel is around 2 years old, and there were quite a few videos posted before I was doing them up regularly, and this is the 30th video. So look through the videos and watch the other ones. There's quite a few there that have no views on them whatsoever, and there are quite a few of them that are the Rochester and Southern, which interchange is a block away from my house with Norfolk Southern. And I have more Rochester and Southern videos that are going to be made. In fact, this deck is the Rochester and Southern in Livonia, Avon, and Lakeville. We start where it comes up from deck 2, from the actual grade that's up from Silver Springs. Silver Springs is below here, up through, it goes around the curve in Rock Glen, down to Pavilion, Leroy, Caledonia, which is where P&L Junction is, where the Rochester and Southern meets the original G&W trackage, which will go off this way. In reality, it goes, let me think here, it goes off before Caledonia, and it goes this way, but I'm putting it here and having it go this way just for space. I might put it on that curve and have it bypass Caledonia, but that I can decide when I get to this point, which is going to be several years from now. And it will go, the main line, Rochester and Southern, goes up to Genesee Junction, which is on the edge of the town of Chilliwack in Monroe County, and the G&W goes down, goes underneath these tracks. Because there's no intermodal, it does not have to be that much of a clearance. I can just have it be enough for the engines and covered hoppers to get through. And here there could be a lift out access, or have it be accessed in the front there. So if something happens in there, I can get to it. Go through here. Retsoff will be in here because there's a salt mine there that was operational until I believe it was 1999 when it collapsed. No, it was not 1999. It was 1999 when this one opened up. It was a few years before that the Axel salt mine collapsed. Somewhere here I have a notebook on the exact date that happened. But doing some work around the house and it got misplaced. You go down to Mount Morris. I'm not quite sure why I didn't label that there, but Mount Morris is here. There's the cold storage place that's over here that's not labeled, and then there's the branch line out to the American Rock Salt in Hampton Corners. That will only start operation, I believe it was 1999 when that started operation, and any operating before that, 1992 to when it opened, won't have salt there. It'll have salt there until that mine collapsed, and then it'll have salt. So it'll be shipped from here. Then we have down the to Dansville, where there is the Foster Wheeler plant. And then it was American Motive Power Incorporated, which is where it is today. They rebuild locomotives. They have a contract with Canadian National right now. They at one point, at least one point, had a contract with CSX to rebuild, among other things, the AC 6000 CWs. And that started in around 2009. And now we go back to the main line. We have Genesee Junction. We have the interchange of Livonia, Avon, and Lakeville. And then it goes up through Brooks Avenue Yard. And then there'll be under this will be staging. There'll be the CSX interchange, and then we have the Kodak and etc. up here, which that used to be in the design before this. That was Batavia, and the CSX came up on a helix here and went through Batavia. Then it disappeared and ran all hidden all the way around here, and then came out over here where it interchanged the Ontario Midland and interchanged with the 4th deck, which is the Finger Lakes Northern here, and staging for Syracuse was over here. But it was going to be too much cost to have the amount of intermodal, auto, and locomotives to run CSX when it was going to be hidden most of the trip. There'd be Frontier Yard, Batavia, and there was no point in doing it, so I eliminated it and put Livonia, Avon, and Lakeville, which was on the 4th deck, which would have gone up from Genesee Junction to the 4th deck. It's now on the 3rd deck. There's no grade. It just goes right over through Industry, where the Rochester and Genesee Valley Museum is, through Avon, where there's some industries, there's craft foods. There was a bean thing there that was served at one point. There's a small 3 or 4 track yard. There's Barilla, and then you go, there's somewhere out here, there's going to be the branch that goes to a feed play, agricultural business that's on the old Livonia spur. And then you go to Lakeville, where the main yard is, the shops are, Archer Daniel Midland, which receives corn syrup, the Sweeteners Plus, which receives powdered sweeteners and corn syrup. There's a team track down there that gets corn syrup and covered hoppers, and I believe there's some type of lumber business down there as well. I'd have to check my industry notes. But we're running 1992 to 2009 for this. There will be the Norfolk and Western patched GP9s and GP18s that they started out with. There's the Rochester and Southern GP40s that are now all gone. The GP9s and GP18s do still exist. In fact, 879 is now Rochester and Southern 879 and is on the Rochester and Southern now, along with BPRR 626, which is also going to be on this layout, only not in the G&W paint that it is today. It'll be in the black BPRR patch lettering over Norfolk and Western. I believe that one was the big block lettering, big huge white NW. I'd have to check Railroad Pictures Archives again for that. But this has a lot more switching, lower amount of trains, and have coal trains, because Kodak was coal fired at this point. I'm not sure if I'll have coal being delivered by CSX all the time, or Rochester and Southern all the time, which wasn't prototypical. They only did it for a few years. Or have it realistic. I don't remember when the Rochester and Southern had the contract with working with NS and when CSX had it. I remember the coal trains coming in to Silver Springs. I mean, we lived here before, but I don't remember how long it was, because I did not have a camera then, and I wasn't able to document all that time, and I really wish I had, because there was so much wonderful power that came through. I remember seeing tonal motors from Southern Pacific, and the New York Susquehanna Western Power sometimes came through. Wisconsin Central SD45s came through. Guilford Rail, their units came through before. It's pre-Pan Am, and a lot of the power that came through is either scrapped or is repainted, rebuilt. And that's one reason why I decided to model the era that I'm modeling, because I get to model the power that I remember as a kid that you don't see anymore. And I think that's why a lot of us model a different area. Okay, that's the 30th video, and this ran twice as long as any other video that I've done. Hopefully this will not take too long to upload, but unlimited data, I'm not worried about it. It'll uploads when it uploads. Hopefully it won't cancel out. Remember, check out those other videos. I know you haven't viewed them. Check them out. They're not as... Sorry, my leg's shaking. My elbow's resting my leg is shaking. I know there's no views on those other videos. Come on, get those views up. See you, I don't know when I'll do the next deck 4, and then after that I'll have the trains. I did a video on the traffic that is the railroad, but I think it was before I cut out the CSX, and I want to go into more detail on that, and also on the power. After a video that Sparky did on showing that he has multiple units on the same number, I am actually scrapping the idea of eliminating all duplicate numbers, and I'm actually going to have them anyway and just make sure it's just not run them at the same time. So it'll only be a couple units of the same number. So that way there's some unique stuff that I left out because it was only like 1 year, and since I can put 2 units of the same number into the system and just not run them at the same time, I'm going to model those. So, stay tuned. I have another railfan video that will come out tomorrow. And then I think that'll be a week of daily videos, which is what I said I was going to do, and then after that I think I'll wait a couple hours before I upload the next video. Benson, if I see something good. See you later.